Four Rivers Smokehouse Internet Marketing Action Plan by Kristen Hausler for Full Sail University. Four Rivers' primary demographic is women. Their ages range from 25 to 39. They have at least some college education and their incomes range from $50,000 to $80,000 a year. The geographic locations primarily include northern and central Florida with recent expansion into southern Florida. The overall audience for Four Rivers consists of young families, primarily mothers with young children and busy lifestyles. The main intentions of these mothers are to purchase quality food for their families at a local restaurant while receiving quick service and paying a reasonable price. They are interested in convenience to complement their demanding schedules. Four Rivers must cater to the four main customer personas in order to understand how they each differ in their wants and needs. These personas include competitive, spontaneous, humanistic, and methodical. Each persona would be approached with a different marketing strategy on the main landing page. The competitive persona would include the use of short, detailed testimonials with clear call to action cues at the top of the page. The spontaneous persona would include the use of short, emotional testimonials and call to action cues at the top of the page. The humanistic persona would include the use of video testimonials from local organizations and call to action cues at the bottom of the page. The methodical persona would include the use of detailed information about the company throughout the page and call to action cues at the bottom. In order to increase exposure for the Four Rivers Smokehouse landing page, we would need to launch a total of 4 campaigns to maximize our potential. The first would be a broad campaign working with Central Florida's #1 local news site, OrlandoSentinel.com. Their average amount of unique visitors consists of 800,000 per month, with male and female readers in Central and Southern Florida. We would have a text display ad, and it would be placed as run of sight on various pages. The best-case scenario projected for the broad campaign would include a conversion rate of 0.75% with an average transaction value of $75 and a total of 800,000 exposures, leaving us with $1,125 in revenue. The total ad spend to revenue ratio would come in at just under 18%. The worst-case scenario would result in 0 conversions and only a 10-cent marginal loss per visitor. The second campaign would be the targeted campaign, and we would continue to work with OrlandoSentinel.com. The targeted demographics would include male and females aged 25 to 39 who are college educated and have young children. We would use a text display ad, and it would be featured in targeted sections on the site, including the entertainment section and the lifestyle section. The best-case scenario projected for the targeted campaign would include a conversion rate of 1.5% with an average transaction value of $75 and a total of 800,000 exposures, leaving us with $3,150 in revenue. The ad spend to revenue ratio would be roughly 17.5%. The worst-case scenario would result in 0 conversions and only a 20-cent loss in margin per visitor. The third campaign would be the intention-based campaign. We would use our most valuable branded keywords found on Google AdWords. The keywords we would use are Four Rivers BBQ, Four Rivers, and Four Rivers spelled out completely. Each of these keywords currently have a monthly search volume of 14,800 and are under 70 cents on the average cost per click. We would also use the keyword phrase Four Rivers Menu, which has a monthly search volume of 4,400 at a 37-cent cost per click. The cost and conversion strategy for these keywords would be to draw the most search volume for the least amount of cost per clicks. The best-case scenario projected for the intention-based campaign would include a 9% conversion rate with an average transaction value of $75 and a total of 14,000 exposures, leaving us with $1,039.50 in revenue. The ad spend to revenue ratio would be at 48%. The worst-case scenario would result in 0 conversions and a $3.25 loss in margin per visitor. The fourth campaign would be the email newsletter sponsorship campaign, and we would continue to work with OrlandoSentinel.com. The newsletter we would sponsor is the Orlando Sentinel Events and Entertainment newsletter. This newsletter is emailed to subscribers once a week, and it contains information about local events and restaurants in surrounding areas. The ad in this newspaper would be a text display ad and would be placed next to the Find Local Restaurants search box section of the letter. The best-case scenario projected for the email newsletter sponsorship campaign would include a conversion rate of 5% with an average transaction value of $75 and a total of 400,000 exposures, leaving us with $152,250 in revenue. The ad spend to revenue ratio would be 0.10%. The worst-case scenario would result in 0 conversions and 0 total revenue. The strategies to successfully optimize and test our landing page would consist of using multivariate testing. We would test multiple variations of headlines, calls to action, offer summaries, offer images, and statements of trust. This would help to ensure that all elements of the landing page are resulting in the maximum amount of conversions. The testing process would consist of 3 total tests. The first test would include 9 total variations of headlines and calls to action. The winning combination of headline and call to action would then be used in our second test. This would include 9 total variations of offer summaries and offer images, along with the winning combination of headline and call to action. The winning combination of headline, call to action, offer summary, and image would then be used in test number 3. The test would consist of 4 variations, testing the winning combination with 3 different statements of trust and then another without a statement of trust. The winning combination of test number 3 would then be deemed the most successful optimization strategy to execute to maximize conversions on the Four Rivers Smokehouse landing page.